だ時は光り叫べラウダドキドキドキ救いの時セラミックスで全軍バンバン不焼きしそうハニバダンダン望み望めるわきシューマンドキドキドキ救いの時ハニバガンダガンダハッハッハッハッハッハッハッハニベンガランダダンダンダワンデワリワハニワガンダハニバガンダハッハッハッハッハッハッハニベンガランダダンダンダハニヤスヤハニヤサ
Good evening, afternoon, morning, part of the day. We are back for the finals week number 1 of the 4 Digits Mania World Cup 2023. Rest assured, the lore is going to make a lot of sense as we are inching towards the end of the tournament. My name is Patiraj. I'll be commentating this Mappool showcase with Joe. How are you?
Hi, Pod 2. I'm doing fine. I'm doing well. I can't wait for you guys to see these pools because this is really the pinnacle of 4DM. We are really going to the finish line. This is where the maps are gonna be really, really tricky.
I mean, weren't they already tricky to begin with? Like, I saw many players, many teams having trouble already in semifinals, but we're going into the finals, the real finals, and that's where the maps are really gonna start putting all of the teams, even the ones in winners brackets, in huge trouble.
Yeah, we've got a lot in store for you guys, so let's get right into it. We're going to go through our Rice picks, our hybrid picks, and our 11 picks. So this is going to be Rice 1, our jump stream pick. It's going to be Scarlet Tears by Blesha. And I guess it's a replay by one of Demi's Nyanyans.
Yeah, absolutely. Demi actually re-uploading this just for a OD edit, I believe. I believe that the original file is at OD 9.5, but they decided to use OD 8.5 to be a little bit more forgiving. I mean, this is finals.
Yeah, so this is going to be 240 BPM jump stream. It's going to be a little bit less dense than Rhythmy, but I'd say it's still pretty tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty dense, but it's not all that long. 2 minutes and 12 seconds, but in return, for those 2 minutes and 12 seconds, you get a jam-packed pick. I do believe that this is pretty much non-stop.
Yeah, there aren't going to be any breaks like in Rhythmy, so this really just goes on. It's a real stamina tester. And this was edited to make the OD 8.5 because the original OD was 9.5. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've got some hands sprinkle in there, some broken patterns to just don't make this a necessarily autopilotable pick. Like, none of the jump stream, hand stream, consistency oriented picks have been autopilotable so far, I don't think.
This is not Icy World jump stream. This isn't even Shoegazer jump stream. This is motherfucking Anchor City.
Yeah, that's still what we're going for, even in finals. And at 240 BPM, you gotta believe that this is gonna be starting to pull on everyone's stamina more so than consistency even. Like, it kind of depends on the players. Maybe your best physical player is going to play this like consistency, but your second and third player are going to start screaming for help.
And that's going to do it for our jump stream pick. Now we're going to go into our stream pick. And we've got some squid converts for you guys. So get your fingers ready and enjoy.
Yeah, we even included the subs. Well, Squid actually included the subs, that is. But yeah, we're going into Squid streams. Squid streams were a pretty common occurrence in bigger tournaments than this one, namely MWC and Soft. So
I really think it's just they're interchangeable, honestly. But the song is a banger and it fits, so why not use it?
Yeah, it's a very, very short pick. It is effectively TV size, as with many Squid picks.
Yeah, so this is going to be 340 stream, and as customary for Squid picks, it picks up in the climax because all TV sizes are gonna have a climax. So these streams go on for 8 measures. You get one break, but you then have to go for another one.
Yeah, it's just kind of classic Squid pairings, like nothing too straightforward. It really keeps you on your toes, and it's not like autopilotable at all, but it does demand a fair amount of physicality. But some players might find this pick to be the most straightforward one among all of the Rice picks.
Yeah, it's relatively short, but I mean, we're gonna test our speed with this one, and well, you know, there you go. Okay, so in contrast to Rice 2, Rice 3 is going to be probably one of the hardest maps in the pool. And it's also one of the longest, clocking in at 4.5 minutes. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes.
Guys like that. Let's go. Woo!
Yeah, 4.5 minutes. That's pulling the stamina / consistency pick in another realm. Up until now, we've had picks that were 3 minutes long, maybe inching towards 4 minutes long, but we broke the 4-minute barrier here, guys.
If you want to protect a Rice pick, this is the one to do. You really want to, you know. These patterns are just so difficult to coordinate. I cannot emphasize that.
Yeah, shoutouts to Darkstar, by the way, for allowing us to use this. We actually had to nerf the trills. Do you remember what you edited out of this file?
Yeah, so there are a couple of the longer trills we edited those out, but the difficulty is still there for basically all the map, since it's all about coordinating these bursts and jump flips that kind of just go on for seeming like forever. This is really going to be testing your stamina. Mixed stamina.
Yeah, absolutely. I see all kinds of patterns, especially broken patterns. So while this is kind of appealing to your technicality and control over all kinds of patterns, you've got some mini jacks, you've got some stream bursts, you've got some jump streams as well. There's a lot of control, some consistency, and this is why, this is essentially the mixed Rice consistency pick of the pool. So I hope that teams can actually use this pick in order to get a hold over their opponent, maybe exhaust their opponent for the upcoming picks.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so last pick we had the jump stream pick as kind of our stamina pick, and now I guess it's gonna be the consistency pick that's kind of more stamina oriented. This song is really relentless. It just drags. It goes on for basically forever.
Yeah, because getting good accuracy on this pick is one thing, but I do believe that combo is going to be another element of this pick in particular. Although, I'm speaking for the entire Mappool now, I think combo management is going to be a huge component of strategizing. Some teams might want to go for combo, some teams might want to go for pinpoint accuracy to catch up in terms of combo. It kind of depends on the player profiles, really, at this point of the tournament. In finals, you get into this line, this kind of blurry line between you can actually FC the picks and you can actually get good, maybe good accuracy on some of the picks. I mean, I am too washed up to actually be testing the picks at this point, so I'm just speaking from secondhand experience.
No, it is. This pick is just ridiculously hard. I mean, it's not unplayable for sure, but it's just really, really tough, and it'll really present the players a huge challenge. and I'm really excited to see this map be picked. If it's even picked at all, that is.
Yeah, I don't see teams going for this like right out of the bat. This might be a pick that is used in the middle or towards the end of the match, and you're gonna believe that if this pick is used in the end of a match, this is gonna be kind of a marathon type of experience where it is basically a battle for survival.
That's gonna do it for raw variation in. So that's probably the hardest pick in the pool. Now we're gonna go into Rice 4, which is Lemon Guy. Wait, what? Didn't we already have a Lemon Guy pick? Oh no, Lemon Guy's coming back, and here he's coming back for a dump fuel tank. It's gonna be our dump-oriented mixed pick.
Okay, this is
fuel tank 1.05.
Yeah, this is actually one of the few maps that I know from this map pool. Fuel tank is one of the few, not one of the few, one of many old style Lemon Guy / Gekido old school picks, and you might have known this one from Lemon's Berry Shots or so. And
this is from Lemon's Fruit Snacks.
Oh, Fruit Snacks, yeah. But yeah, this is old school style Gekido / Lemon Guy. Rice, physical, very physical type of dump. But yeah, I find this incredibly fun, and I can only barely play 1.0.
Yeah, this is really an Eterna pick. And you're going to see it really start to ramp up in difficulty in the second half as we get into the streams.
Yeah, the streams are especially straining in terms of physicality, and this pick is one of the shortest of the map pool. 1 minute and 46 seconds. This is more so of a stress test for many of the teams. So if any of the teams are comparatively more physical than any other team, they might want to focus on this one, maybe even protect it. And especially at 1.05, that is incredibly straining.
Yeah, some of these spams are incredibly rude, and you really have to have the control if you want to get good accuracy on it. You can combo it by mashing, but that's not really going to help you.
I believe this free play was made by a Swedish Rice player, Neon. Wait.
Yeah, Neon Drake, and shout out to him for making this free play.
Yeah, just showing what a Swedish player can do on this pick. And yeah, as it shows, it is incredibly brutal. On to the next Rice number 5. We've got Energy Synergy Matrix. That is going to be a convert from Shinobu. That's
right. It's going to be another Eterna convert. Eterna has good files. We're gonna this is kind of going to be. It's a little bit similar to Raw Variation, but I'd say there's a little bit of a different emphasis here. There's a little more emphasis on anchors than there is with coordination.
Yeah, this is kind of a follow-up to Born to Lose. Although Born to Lose was 3 minutes long, this is a fair amount shorter, but I find this to be way more jam-packed in terms of Jack stress.
Yeah, there are these sort of gluts that they're kind of pseudo chord jacky. You kind of have to kind of treat them as sort of a mix between gluts and light chord jacks. And the trills in between, they kind of test your control.
Yeah, I actually tested this and Born to Lose together. We were kind of debating whether to use this or Born to Lose in semifinals, kind of interchangeably. And we decided to use Energy Synergy Matrix. That's 1.05 in finals, because this is this is a fair amount shorter than Born to Lose. Born to Lose is a fair amount lighter than this is, at least in my opinion. I actually tested this file.
Yeah, this one is quite a bit denser than Born to Lose. And 1.05, this is gonna have about the same BPM as Born to Lose. They're really starting to testing your ability to control these sorts of gluts.
But yeah, honestly, this is a banger. Another banger in the long list of bangers. This Mappool. And yeah, if you were complaining about too many long picks last Mappool, we kind of spared you some length from some of the picks because those get pretty physical.
Yeah. Up next, we've got "Kickstart My Heart" by Biosphere, aka Zeta SN. This is a third Zeta pick, and just kind of meant to be an intermediate between the Energy Synergy Matrix, Fuel Tank, and Raw Variation.
Yeah,
I kind of test your running man skills and sort of stream skills.
Zeta back with another banger for sure, and we are eternally thankful for them to allow us to use our files. And this one is gonna be fueling the musical variety of the Mappool. And I gotta say, Motley Crue is some old school banger material for sure.
Yeah, so this is gonna it's kind of also gonna be dumpy like Fuel Tank, but it's gonna be a lot more emphasis on anchors than bursts. Although you are gonna see a fair share of bursts in this pick. But yeah, this map is really fun, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. You were comparing this to Variationen. This is a fair amount shorter, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. But as you mentioned, this is more intensive in terms of anchors and in terms of density and stress of patterns. So this is definitely leaning towards the physical side of things, and I guess also mentally taxing as we see those graces fueling the reading challenge that is.
Yeah, and this second half, it's kind of relentless. You just gotta keep on hitting these anchors, and you not only have to have the stamina for this, you also have to have the technique to hit these patterns with good accuracy.
Yeah, I see some split shows here and there. This is very taxing in terms of one hand heaviness and overall coordination, as you were mentioning.
Yeah, so now we're just gonna finish up the song.
Yeah, this is just a call for other mappers to map this kind of song. By the way, I was checking timings for all of the maps, and this is actually constant BPM, but the BPM is kind of funny. It's like decimal. It's like 3 decimals.
3 decimal places, very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an oldie. So, people didn't really have to worry too much about BPMs.
I mean, I was expecting this one to have plenty of timing points, but no, this is constant BPM. In any case, we're going into Rise 7, and it's going to be our chord jack. It's going to be Arpia's Karakuri, and we're going into 140 BPM for this round.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit mixed compared to what you might be used to, but this is really testing the sort of chord jack motions and muscle movements that you don't really see in the other picks of this pool. And shouts to Arpaia for making this banger map. It's really cool, and I'm happy that this got to be used. The jacks aren't really that dense, but they are creating control hazard. And you mix that in with some of the bursts, and you get a legitimate chord jack now.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of aiming at some of the chord jack specialists of each team. I do believe that many players at 140 BPM, we'll be able to get very good accuracy, especially at OD8, only at OD8. But I can guarantee you we're gonna see many misses on this kind of pick. So get ready for some very funny scores, such as 20-1 ratio, but 10 misses. And those bursts are no joke, and it's kind of transitional difficulty as we're going from the bursts into pretty nasty anchors on both hands.
Yeah, in this part, you're going to have to coordinate these sort of wrist-jack motions with bursts. And you might think it's a little bit weird for a core jack pick, but again, this is kind of we really wanted to use this pick because it's a banger, and we thought it was jack emphasis, and it's just a great pick.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to introduce some other transitional difficulty into the jack picks, because I do believe that part of the core jack skill set also lies a lot into how you handle the transitions, and not necessarily how you can sustain autopiloting a pick for maybe 2 minutes.
And I just realized that the last 3 notes were 200s. I didn't even realize that in my replay. That's so funny.
Oh, you did this replay. I didn't even notice, but we're going into the hybrids, and we are starting to get into a heavy batch of custom maps, and this is going to be the first one from How to Play It. It's going to be Nidhogger.
It's supposed to be kind of follow-up from Amazing Mirage. It's really supposed to be this sort of... It's going to test your shield ability as well as your burst ability. And it's a really, really good song, and I'm glad that this was found. So shout out to How to Play LA.
Yeah, we were actually debating on whether to use this or something else. I do believe it is Flying Castle, or, well, something else, really. In any case, this almost ended up in semifinals, but I tested this, and I found this to be quite a bit physical and very coordination demanding. So we almost rated this at 1.05 as well, but I do believe that the sheer coordination that is required to handle this pick is absolutely enough for it to make it a finals week 1 pick, and that is probably going to be the least physical of all of the 3 hybrids. Wait, happy birthday, How to Play It, by the way.
Oh, is it actually How to Play Ellen's birthday? Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. So you're going to start to see some bursts and some Ellen inverses. And when they start to mix together, that's when you're going to get some real difficulty coming out of this pick.
Yeah, this might only be 2 minutes and 14 seconds long, but the coordination required on this, especially on the shield department here, as you can see, and just in general, given all the patterns that this gives you, makes it a very tough pick to sustain.
Yeah, I wouldn't, at least for hybrids 1 and 2, I wouldn't say they are basically that much harder than semis, but in terms of technique needed to hit these boys, yeah, it is really difficult. And that's going to do it for hybrid 1. And for hybrid 2, we're going to have a second custom. This is going to be Oriole by Eclipse. So this is gonna kind of be like Zeronial 0. You kind of like that sort of map.
So yeah, this is gonna be kind of a zoomy pick at 321 BPM. That is an actual BPM, by the way. Also kind of on the shorter side, 2 minutes long. And this, I hope you're starting to see what I mean when I say that Nidhogger was one of the least physical picks of the entire map, well, really. Outside of the long notes, of course.
Yeah, and this gives off so much Lemon Guy vibes. The shields, man.
The thrill! And yeah, this is fairly physical, but also quite demanding in terms of coordination, which makes this kind of the 50-50 hybrid pick. I do believe it's the 50-50, right?
Yeah, this is the 50, at least on paper, it's the 50-50 hybrid.
Yeah, let me check the last one, actually.
I agree with the assessment. It really does have dedicated Rice and LN sections.
Yeah, it's very much in the style of Eclipse. By the way, thank you, Eclipse, for mapping this. Eclipse has been helping a lot, not only in terms of mapping, but also in terms of modding and general quality control. All over the board, really. So, yeah, I see some very, very, very structured mapping from Eclipse. Very, I guess, very typical from Eclipse, and they did a very good job. And watch for those releases at the end. That the long notes get longer and longer towards the end as it gets more intense.
All right, that's going to be Hybrid 2. Hybrid 3 is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be Rabbit Mist, and this is going to be a collab between Lurk and Eclipse.
Okay, I found this now. I was looking for the remaining hybrid, and I forgot that this was the title. I'm gonna read to you the name of the staffing Discord thread right now. Quarterfinals tiebreaker, but now it's semifinals tiebreaker, but now it's finals hybrid.
Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna map the second half, but I didn't really like how my parts were turning out, so I gave it over to Eclipse. And there were numerous delays, and we found some replacements for the tiebreakers, and well, here it is in finals, not as a tiebreaker, but as a hybrid. Let's go.
Yeah, and as intense as this pick goes, you can see why we kind of moved it out of the way from quarterfinals. This is way too hard to be in quarterfinals. We, going from song choice, we kind of were telling ourselves that, this can be that hard. But no, this was slated to be the semifinals tiebreaker, but we had to replace it due to time constraints, and this is ending up as kind of the most physical of all of the hybrids in this map pool, and also I guess the most demanding. Does it actually span the whole 4 minutes and 25 seconds, or is there an initial cut and the drain time is lower?
No, it actually spans the entire 4 minutes and 25 seconds. There's a little bit of a break in the halfway point, but it's sort of broken jump stream burst and hybrid action. So this is really sort of fitting the role as the Rice hybrid.
But yeah, honestly, shoutouts to the custom mappers on this. I believe it is Lurk and Eclipse, as you were mentioning. But yeah, very technical, very Terminal 11-like experience as we are going into this pretty much very technical hybrid gauntlet. I have honestly not seen this map before because it has gone through a lot of work though. So I must say I'm pretty impressed at the result.
Yeah, now we're gonna go into Eclipse's parts, and these are gonna be a little bit more LN heavy. parts sort of lend themselves to hybrids a little bit more.
Yeah, because you don't usually imagine Terminal 11 songs to be hybrid. You usually categorize them into basically the Rise technical category. But seeing a hybrid on a Terminal 11 song is actually kind of refreshing as an experience. So I hope all of the players will enjoy this, and even players outside of the tournament are hopefully are going to enjoy this map for their own trading purposes.
And we're gonna wrap the song up in a little bit. There's still a lot of really tricky parts. There's still some shields, some LNs. I'm really happy as to how the final product turned out. I'm really happy how Eclipse mapped the part that I was supposed to map. I'm also really happy as to how Lurk mapped the first half. I'm really happy that this got to be included in a pool.
Yeah, honestly, it is going to be the last stretch for us in terms of custom mapping and in terms of pooling in general. I do believe that most of the groundwork has been done already, and we just have the last week, the finals, week number 2, the grand finals to work on. And honestly, yeah, there's not that much work done, and we want to thank everyone for, I guess, bearing with us as we are also experimenting a lot with the format and so on. I hope that you can also provide us with many bits of feedback on how we can improve the general tournament scene that way.
Alright, so we're going into our LNs now, and our first pick is going to be another custom. It's going to be by Eclipse once again. It's going to be Subete ga Maporoshi ni Nata Nochi De by Camellia.
Very good reading, by the way. I gotta give props where they are deserved. This is gonna be more so a coordination test than a, strictly speaking, release test. At OD 7.5, you might not think that this is you might not think that this is hard to hack, but by the words of Mappool, this is impossible to hack.
Yeah, this is ridiculously hard to hack, and that's why we made the coordination pick. Although I'd say it's kind of, there's kind of a little bit of there's a lot of staggers in this, but it's going to be kind of this sort of mini timing hell, and I'm really happy to put this in the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a lot of inversey patterns, but also these inversey patterns will be compounded by many staggers, many eclipsey staggers, so to speak. I do believe that it is pretty fitting in Eclipse's long note mapping style, and this part is pretty challenging to coordinate. It's starting to get a tiny bit physical, but trust me, this is the least physical of the long note picks.
That's right. Yeah, it's not supposed to be as physical, but it's really sort of this sort of stagger challenge that we got here. Sort of stagger. There's a lot of staggers in this map. There's a lot of staggers, and also a lot of weird rhythms that you gotta hit.
Yeah, honestly, if we see any 990Ks in by any player in this pool, if we see any 990K scores on this map from a tournament player, then I'm sorry, but you probably might not be a 4-digit.
Yeah, I mean it's so easy to drop 200 on this. Like, I'm gonna scream if there's 990K on this. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, now all of the maps in the entire Mappool are gonna be incredibly hard to score on. Just that's just what I want to say. In any case, we're going into the second long note pick. That is going to be another custom from Felix Spade. How many customs does this guy have in this tournament? Felix Spade. And this is not even the only tournament Felix Spade is mapping for.
Yeah, this is gonna be a Pupa by Felix Spade. So this is our density pick. I guess there's not really much to say other than it's a density pick, and there's jump stream and there's some gluts. These parts might look wild party, but trust me, they really aren't. They're really meant to test your density or anything else.
Yeah, because density is not only about jump stream density, it is also about bits of coordination here and there. This is going to be one of the easier picks to get good accuracy on. You're going to see what I mean when we get to it at number 3 and 4. This might look a little bit wild to get good accuracy on, especially at 212 BPM. This is only OD7 as a kind of relief situation.
Yeah, this is meant to be as difficult as Insecticide from last year. We didn't really think the LNs in Grand Finals were testing stuff enough, so that's why we're pushing this up to Finals 1.
Yeah, at 1.05 as well, we applied a rate for it to balance it against other picks in the Mappool as well. And some of those gluts are kind of brutal as well in the last half.
Yeah, those ending 3-column things are really brutal for me personally. I can't get those at all. And this section is just really dense at the end.
Yeah, just a very intense map altogether, all packed in 1 minute and 58 seconds. Thank you again, Felix Spade, for this wonderful custom.
Alright, that's LN2. LN3 is going to be our wild card. It's going to be Super Emulator by How to Play LN. Just kidding. It's actually Albeit After the Dawn, which is a LN3 reject. Thank you, Badu.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have any SV maps last week, so here's the SV map. Here's your SV map, but it's in Long Note 3 instead. What can I say? Shoutouts to Albion, who's streaming this showcase, by the way. We enjoy your services very much. Thank you very much. In any case, about the map itself, it is basically what I call an LN wildcard kitchen sink. It has every single thing I can think of in terms of LNs. It has releases, it has coordination, it has bits of LN speed and density, and this basically tests almost everything, really. You really have to put your LN all-rounders on this one. And actually, I originally mapped this for the Long Note tournament back in April, so I'm resurfacing this map for this tournament.
That's right, and this is really this is sort of jump streamy, and you might think it's similar to Pupa, but you know.
No, yeah, this is not density,
really,
by the way.
It is really, really release oriented.
Yeah, you might think this is jump stream, but no, this is more coordination demanding than density. The LN layering actually requires you to have actual coordination rather than density skills. At least on this one, the actual density is going to appear in the later back half of the map. But yeah, I don't really map all that much in that range of difficulty, and it actually took me a fair amount of time to actually wrap my head around mapping this. It's rather difficult to map at this level of tournament demands. So I gotta give my utmost respect to custom mappers who can actually handle this kind of difficulty.
Yeah, I guess not really much to say other than there's more LNs, there's more of these coordination testers. I guess it's 3 minutes, which means that there's a consistency aspect as well.
Yeah,
so
this is going to be
goes on and on.
Yeah, this is going to be the part that is fairly more density demanding, but it also requires a fair amount of coordination as those long notes are layered kind of oddly and not in the most straightforward way, but the patterns, the jump string patterns themselves do lend themselves to be very density demanding right at the end of the pick. And in terms of snaps, this is fairly straightforward, and the long note number 4 is going to be completing this map pool in terms of, I guess, all-roundedness and exhaustivity.
LN4, I wonder what that's going to be. Oh wait, it's another OMLN3 reuse. Oh, it's gonna be Dill, like Fairquicious. Yeah, so this was in OMLN3 semis. So here we go. This is our tech pick.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be. This is gonna be an actual reuse, one of the first reuses in this tournament of the long note tournament, and there really aren't that many technical long note picks around, so we kind of felt obligated to use this, as this is basically the perfect long note to complete this entire long note map. We didn't have many grace oriented and release oriented picks at all, so the edit of Daylight from Chrysaline is going to be completing this long note map pool.
So this is kind of going to go in the direction of LN1 in terms of the graces, but it's kind of that, but there isn't really that much of an emphasis on the staggers.
But yeah, this I believe this pick wasn't played by any of the players in 4DM, because none of the actual 4 digits actually reached I guess the round where this was used in the long note tournament. Where was this used in the long note tournament already? Was it used in semifinals?
Yeah, that's right. This was used in semis. So this sort of pool is really supposed to be in between LN quarterfinals and semis in terms of OML3 difficulty. And as you can see, these graces here, they're a little tricky to act. There's some real tricky stuff going on here where you kind of, even some inverse going on, and it's kind of this sort of grace note hell.
Yeah, not only is it quite inverse intense, in the middle of it you have to read through the graces and the releases inside of it, so that makes it quite challenging to get good accuracy on. It is slightly higher in terms of OD than the usual long note picks as well. I also got to mention that Albion After the Dawn is OD 7.7, which makes it one of the hardest picks to get good accuracy on, but the delay, by virtue of the map itself, is also quite hard to get good accuracy on. I mean, at this point of the tournament, do you really expect any pick to be easy?
Okay, that's the end of LNs. I haven't actually looked at the SVs, so why don't you go ahead and introduce these?
Yeah, sure. And for the first reading-oriented SV, which is going to be another custom from Alex Dunk, I'm just going to let the map play for 5 seconds. All right, that's your intro, and that is going to be... thank you, Alex Dunk, for working on this custom. And one of the first appearances of reverse SVs in a tournament situation, well, that is kind of a funny gimmick, and it's pretty easy to handle, but I thought that was very fun and very, very neat to include in this tournament. So props to Alex Dunk. In any case, this first half is going to be fairly manageable in terms of reading, but I feel like most of the difficulty is going to be concentrated in the second half. Do be careful about the upcoming section. It's going to require a little bit of memorization because the gimmick is kind of a visual trap that you're going to see right now.
Oh, these are nasty. These are nasty.
Yeah, no, this is not straight. This is not straight 1/4, and this is also starting to unravel the chaos that is
the top rankers pattern. That's the top rankers pattern. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I feel like this map has been inspired by a lot by Ciel's kind of gimmicks that have been appearing in various World Cups. So some of the reading tricks that kind of appear in Gemstream, and you're going to see the pinnacle of it right now.
Oh yeah, this is really giving off Seal vibes. Oh man.
And it gets even worse now. And honestly, I don't even know which scroll speed you might want to use for this. You basically have to keep your eyes either up or down. And it is really challenging to not only learn, but also get good accuracy on. It's just basically a very, very tough accuracy challenge. I would not be surprised if this one would end up being banned because of its... I think this one is going to be the easiest to learn how to FC, but this is going to be by far the one that is going to be the hardest to hack.
Oh yeah. This is ridiculously hard to act.
And
that was just a reading pick. Now we're going to go into our memo pick. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Man. So we are actually going to break the customs streak in the SV department. This is not exactly a custom map. This is an edit from Arcat. We want to thank Arcat for working on this as we kind of went through quality assurance on this in order to make it fair for veteran players at least. But this is going to be very much memory oriented, and I am pleased to say we do not have swing SV in this map pool. We do not have swing SV in this map pool. Let's go.
We've got something even worse though, and that's actual hard SV.
Yeah, that is going to be Arcat SVs. Like, do you prefer swing SV or Arcat SVs? And look at this long nose. That is the worst thing to sight read ever. This map is one of the least sight readable things I've ever played.
Yeah, this fucking section is so funny. Let's go.
And let's go into the main drop. And those gimmicks are quite unintuitive to learn because they tend to change a lot because they're
not normalized. They trick you into thinking that the jacks are not jacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the normalization is kind of all over the place, and also the song and the patterns themselves do lend themselves to change a lot. So you really have to kind of learn how the song twists and changes. And while the snaps are all basically on 1/4 and 1/8 for the most part, so this is going to be fairly easy to get good accuracy on once you get your mind around this, all of the gimmicks. And once you get into it, you really are going to be able to get good accuracy on this one. Way more so than on SV1.
Oh man, oh man, that's gonna do it for our SVs and our tiebreaker. It's actually gonna be a custom. Like, wait for it, Dr. Mango. Hold on, Dr. Mango. Where have you heard that name from? Oh, it's from Ultimate 3, but no, he's actually tiebreaker name. Tiebreaker. So this is gonna be a collab between Dr. Mango, how to play LN, and Akatsumi, also known as Erehatsuki.
All right, so let's go into this tiebreaker. This is gonna be terabyte. It's gonna be called terabyte by mapped by Mint. Difficulty hard drive. No, just kidding. Anyways, another custom tiebreaker. Thank you very much for the hard work, and you can see the star rating basically shoot upward, and you gotta believe that finals week 2 is gonna go even harder, and I dare say that this one goes pretty hard since the replayer of this map, Silverska Elf, one of the best players in the world, only had 980 counters. And this is going to also be pretty long in the tiebreaker department, 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And it is rather customary for tournaments to feature longer and longer tiebreakers as the tournament goes on. But yeah, in terms of physicality, this is definitely going to be a precursor to how bad Finals Week 2 Grand Finals is going to be. And the longer difficulty is also going to be matching this.
Yeah, the customs for Gref for Finals Week 2 hybrids. Oh my god. Oh my god. And this is, I'd say it's about the same difficulty. Like, I'd say they're all about the same difficulty as cryochemistry. Like, maybe this is slightly easier than cryochemistry, but it is a gauntlet of stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious to know whether you think cryochemistry was too hard for its time, or whether it was perfectly balanced for.
I thought cryochemistry was absolutely perfect for 40M.
Okay,
so
so
you know, now we're getting real difficult in 4-digit pools. So because all the pools, the government mandates pools to increase by a specific rate each year, and we have to comply with the government standards. So that's why we're making tournaments this hard.
Yeah, absolutely. We are merely following OSU inflation, that is. We are following the rate of inflation at which player skill is actually increasing. You may think I'm joking when I'm saying this, but actually the average level of skill in the tournament scene is only increasing year by year, and that is also noticeable in, for example, the long note editions. Going from 2 to 3, it is basically night and day in terms of difficulty. Well, more like day and night, day and deep night, more so. Yeah, like I legit, while pulling the long note tournament, I was going into long note OSU. Wait, the OMLN 2 finals or grand finals picks, and I was getting like 900k, and in the third edition of the tournament, I was starting to get 900k in quarterfinals or semifinals. So that's hard it goes. That's how hard inflation goes in terms of player skill. And I do believe that going by song structure, we're going to be going into the apex of the song. The vocals especially, but this is not going to be a long mid section. It's going to be an incredibly physical section. Oh my god.
So this was a replay by Els, and Els is only 90 BK in this. That is a testament to how difficult this is. It's kind of getting faster, kind of like Ubarts or cryochemistry or every other tiebreaker out there.
Yeah, you had the density part, and might I remind you, this is genuinely 220 BPM. I think the first half might have been 160 BPM, but this is genuinely 220 BPM density. So
Did you say 220 BPM? Blaze it.
Very funny. Yeah, that is gonna be it for this finals week 1 showcase. I hope your fingers are not gonna be hurting too much from training this Mappool, because training the remaining countries, the remaining 6 countries, I believe. No, wait, how many countries are even left?
6 countries. So it's actually the top seeds are the top 6 countries that are remaining, and in the winners bracket you've only got one match, and that's going to be China versus Singapore. And then in the losers bracket, we like to call that the shark pit, you've got Malaysia, you've got Brazil, you've got Canada, and you've got motherfucking I forgot their name. Hong Kong. The Hong Kong team.
Yeah, what we found funny in the host's channel right now is that it is basically time zone heaven for the winners bracket, and for the losers bracket it is time zone hell. We've got Brazil versus Hong Kong, and we've got Canada versus Malaysia, so they're gonna have a very fun time going for scheduling here. So we basically left the schedules in their own hands. This is very important, by the way. If you're a captain or a member of those countries, please pay attention to the schedules, because this is, especially the losers bracket matches, it is going to be very difficult to coordinate and schedule. So we really wanted to, for captains and members of this team, to get into contact right from the get-go.
All right, so that's gonna do it for 40M Showcase. I'm gonna sign out. I'm Chu. I'm joined by Paturaj, and we hope to see you next week for yet another amazing showcase. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for more lore and the very last showcase of this tournament. Peace out.